Do it live.
Identify yourself.
94.3 WRHD HD1, Farmville, Greenville, the exclusive home for Pirate Athletics. 94.3 The Game. It's 5 o'clock in Pirate Country, and it's time to get pumped up with the P-Man. Hit the door and hit the road. 94.3 The Game is going to get you home, and the P-Man's not holding back.
Yes! Yes! Pirates win! Pirates win!
Bring on the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Holy mackerel! Oh, my goodness!
The flagship station of the ECU Pirates.
All right, welcome in, everybody. It is great to have you with us here on a Throwdown Thursday, a Greenville concert on the Common Thursday. We'll get you out in just a minute to telephonically get you out in just a minute to the Greenville Town Common, where Landslide, a Fleetwood Mac tribute band, will be playing tonight, 6 o'clock. Free concert and part of our Concert on the Common series. Looking forward to that tonight in Greenville at 6 o'clock. I am at the Working Man's Beach, coming to you live today from Surf City, America, as first real opportunity in several months to slip away and hit the beach. So we took advantage of that, doing the show from here today and tomorrow. But we are glad to have you along nonetheless, and have everything that you need to know going on in the world of sports, Pirate Nation, and beyond. Philip the Ref Pilkington is in today. Cookie, apparently, as a guy who really digs 70s rock, he's been soaking up. He and Buscemi have been, those two kindred spirits, Pilk, have been soaking up the Landslide sound check today. Philip the Ref Pilkington, star of the Hoist the Colors radio program, one of the stars of the Hoist the Colors radio program, is in today anchoring the scoreboard desk, and he also will be producing the show today along with Clark Willis. So hello to you, Cookie, or rather Philip.
How's it going, Patrick?
Good to talk to you, buddy. Good to talk to you. You doing well?
Yeah, I'm great. It's good to be back. I miss being on the show. How have you been?
Oh, I'm well. I'm no Phil. Everything's coming up ref right now. The ref is everywhere. Everywhere I turn, the ref is become one of the stars of the Hoist the Colors radio program. Heard here at noon on 94.3 The Game. I was told by Igo today that he's going to be going through next week. Is that? Am I taking a turn out of school here? As I'm about to snack on an almond? Pilk, or what have you heard? Because that's what Igo told me today.
Yeah, it sounds like we're going to go through the 16th. Still got a few more things he wants to get to, both with interviews as well as some previews of the football season to come.
Okay, not done chewing my almond yet, but yes. All right, that sounds good. That's what he told me today, so I didn't know if that was formal or if that was just his plan. But if you say it, Philip the Ref Pilkington, by golly, I know it's true.
I appreciate that, Patrick. I don't know if everything I say is true, but I love your confidence in me.
Here's the other thing. You and Cookie next week are getting to go to the Big Rock. So now that I know Igo's going to be on next week, that sort of changes some things on my show there. Did that come across, by the way, to you, Philip? Did you hear that or no?
Hear what?
Okay, very good. Something just dinged, and I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure it didn't come across to you because my ears are still ringing. So you guys are going to the Big Rock next week. Is that correct?
Yeah, Cookie and I'll be down there helping out Henry on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. So I'll actually have to
Okay.
connect from Henry's place a couple days to do the Hoist the Colors.
Is that right? Okay. All right. Will you guys be doing check-ins from Big Rock on our show since you'll be down there on those days?
Hey, I'm all down. If you want to have us on, we'd love to.
Okay. All right, good. We'll get a check-in from you guys. We'll have Mark Miller coming up in just a little bit. Rene Ingoglia, ESPN college football analyst, will be on the program with us today as well, as we'll start to turn our attention to college football, a little bit of a primer, get his thoughts on this Michigan team, I guess number 2 in some of the polls early on here in the preseason. Got my Phil Steele confirmation today as far as the magazine coming out and set to be delivered, so I should have that in a few – whenever it gets in from the press that publishes it. We're hopefully going to get Phil on before we take our hiatus. We're going to be our final show is going to come on the 23rd right now, unless something changes. And we're going to take a goodly amount of time off. This was planned. Maybe a little bit of a week earlier than I traditionally have done on the show as far as time off. We usually take a couple weeks off in July. We're going to take 3 weeks off in July this year, and then the last week of June. Now, in the last week of June, my wife's got a surgery, so that also is kind of spurring this because that surgery is fairly early in that week, and we don't know what her recovery time is going to be like. So that is part of the other reason. So a lot of this is premeditated, the hiatus that we're going to be taking. I've got to talk with Pilk and Cookie about our best of menu because I just don't want the show to totally go away. Maybe for July 4th week, we go to Fox, give everybody the week off. But I need to talk to you, Pilk, about a series of best of shows. But if you can find that, those are always hard to find, a best of this radio program. All right. Where do you want to Philip the Ref Pilkington, as we've established, is here with us today. Pilk, an avid Carolina Panthers fan. So where would you want to start as the big story today? Pilk is a avid Carolina Panthers fan because they're wrapping up OTAs today. They'll be back next week, Tuesday, I believe it is, for mandatory minicamp. So we're going to talk to Zoki next week, I'm sure. And so do you want to start with the number change or the injury? What do you want to go with as an avid Carolina Panthers fan? Can I venture a guess?
Of course.
On this? Okay. I think the nerd sports fan in you wants to go with injury. But now that you're a big entertainment celebrity on radio and have become the toast of the town, I think you will go with the number change first, being the consummate entertainer you are now. Which one would it be?
You got to go with your first guess there, Patrick. I could not care less what number a guy is wearing on the field.
So you're not
what
the
I
consummate
care about
entertainer.
is that
All
our
right,
former first-round pick is hurt yet again.
So here's how I look at it. J.C. Horn missed just all but one game or 2 games of his rookie year, Philip?
Yeah, that's correct. I believe he got hurt in the second game. He had injury to his right foot. Fortunately, this is his left foot, however.
Okay. Well, look, if you're a guy in the secondary and you have feet problems, that's not a good recipe for success. So his second year, he played, right?
Yeah.
Did he miss any time last season?
I don't believe so. I'll have to look it up. If it was very minimal.
Okay. So we thought, all right, cool. He's healthy. He's going to play. He had an okay season, all things considered. And now he's going to be missing the rest of OTAs and this mandatory minicamp because of, as you say, an injury to his left foot. Here's where I have 2 schools of thoughts on this. Number one, it is summer. It is mandatory minicamp. It is OTAs, and he needs to be healthy come September. That's how that's part of me looks at it like this. The other part I think that you bring up is interesting. Injured his rookie year, right?
Yep. And he did only play 13 of the 17 games last year.
Okay. But he played the majority of the games. There wasn't any prolonged multiple game injury type of situation. He missed 4 games. And now if this doesn't, depending on what the nature, the severity of this is, he may not be back in September. Who knows? So part of me thinks, all right, it's a little bit of an overreaction to start is he injury prone? But you have to be concerned, I got to think, if you're a Carolina Panther fan.
Yeah, I think you do, and you're right that it is normally, I believe, a little too early to think that. But I think the reason you can overreact a little bit is because he was a top 10 pick. Because if you waste a top 10 pick on a guy who's injury prone, it's a much different scenario than a third-round pick who turned out to be injury prone. So the fact that this is year 3, he missed a lot of time year 1, a little bit of time year 2, and here we are, year 3 hasn't even officially started yet, and you're reporting an injury. You've got a little reason to be freaked out because you passed up on other top-tier players in order to get this guy to be your lockdown corner, to be the guy that you can leave on an island for the next 10 years, and you can't leave him on an island if he's not on the field.
So we'll see. I mean, again, if you're having injuries with your feet and you make a living with your feet, that's a tough situation. So we'll see. The jury's still out, but wise to shut him down, and let's see if he can be healthy by the time September, or at least by the time training camp rolls around. I think that's fair, right?
Yeah, I agree. I don't. You never need to bring him back too early. That you can always bring him back too early. You can't bring him back too late.
Right. The jersey. What's in a number? Philip Pilkington. What's in a number? The linebacker for the Panthers, Brian Burns, fantastic player, one of the heartbeat guys. Would you agree of their team right now defensively? Is that?
I'd say he's the face of the defense right now.
Okay, he's the heartbeat. He's the face. He's the straw that stirs the drink. He has changed his number from 53 to 0. I love this. Now let me tell you why I love this. Used to be, when I was your age, Pilkington, and a little younger, what happened in football was dictated from the highest level on down through college, on down to the high school level, on down to the middle school level, on down to the Pop Warner level, right? It was a trickle-down effect. Now, from the high school level on up, you see how that is influencing the game. Offenses are much more wide open even in the NFL now than they ever have been. College has been that way for the last decade plus. High school's been that way for the last couple of decades. High school also has started the trend of the receiver who wore the single digit and the player who wore the single digit, in this case 0. Usually that was a quarterback, a running back, maybe a specialist, but now receivers. Because back in my day, Philip, receivers wore numbers in the 80s. No longer the case. Receivers wear single-digit numbers. This is a linebacker, I know, but this is the movement. This is like something a guy in high school would do, and I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I kind of wish. I liked how the NFL was strict with their numbers. I hate how they kind of changed it a couple of years ago. But now that they have changed it, it is what it is. And I don't care personally if he changes his number to the symbol that Prince changed his name to. If he's good on the field, that's what I'm worried about. I couldn't care less what's on his jersey.
Yeah, well, there you go. And that's one of the many stories that we are following here today on the Patrick Johnson Show. We got some Rory McIlroy audio from yesterday. I wish we had gotten to, but we got it today. Don't think we have time to get to it here in the first segment. I'm going to leave you with one other story, Pilk. I read recently, and this is something I was going to mention earlier in the week. We've had so much news going on this week. The Hard Knocks. I love that show on HBO. I'm so excited I can talk some football with Pilk here today. I love Hard Knocks, right? They are having a hard time, the NFL is, finding a team that will do that. Does that surprise you?
No, it doesn't. If I was a coach, I would personally not want my team on Hard Knocks.
Why?
I mean, I know that they're not showing the playbook, but at the end of the day, guys are so intelligent now. When I say guys, I don't necessarily mean players. I mean the coaches and the players. Every little thing they pick up on. And having your practice paraded around on national television for the whole world to see. I get it's a streaming service, it's HBO, but still, it's still national TV. Anybody can access it. And I do not want anything. Film is such a part of the game today, and I do not want anything potentially out there. Heck, I don't want to cut a guy in the season and have him get picked up by an opponent that I may play the rest of the year.
Wait a minute, that's going to happen anyway.
It's going to happen anyway, but you better hope that he gets picked up by Joe Schmo in the other conference that's fighting for the number 1 overall pick is who you hope he gets picked up by, because you're not going to see him.
Speaking of which, Minnesota cut Cook today, right?
They did. Saved him $9 million.
And it looks like he's going to wind up in the AFC, possibly with Miami, possibly with Denver. Is this a big deal, a small deal, or no deal?
Anytime a player that's a 4-time Pro Bowler gets cut, I think it's a big deal.
But he's a running back.
He's a running back, and running backs are a dime a dozen. We've seen it over the past few years. There is Christian McCaffrey, and then there is everyone else. So, it's just a deal because of the name that he is. But like I said, if I'm the Vikings, I'm just hoping he doesn't go to a team I've got to see this year. They do play the Broncos in Week 11. They will not see the Dolphins this season. So I guess you hope if you're a Vikings fan or a personnel in the front office that he ends up in Miami.
Yeah, I would think, and I would think that's where you would want to end up if you're a player. They seem to have, even though the quarterback situation is what it is, it does seem like that is the group right now that, I don't know, who has more upside, Denver or Miami? I tend to think Miami maybe has a little more upside. I certainly think it's a better living situation because it's never going to snow in Miami like it is in Denver, and the state tax.
No state income tax is big. Colorado is third in highest cost of living behind Hawaii and California. Yeah. Look, I got family in Colorado, beautiful place, fun place to visit. Would not live there. Way too blue for me. I'd go down there, hang out with Governor DeSantis all day long. And back to your sports question. Not supposed to be talking politics here on the sports station.
Stick to sports.
I know. I'm sorry.
That's funny. That is good, though.
Yeah, Miami probably does have I would say they have a better chance of being pretty darn good, but if by some magic Russell Wilson becomes what he was, I don't know if Tua will ever be what Russell Wilson used to be, but I don't know if Russell Wilson will ever be what Russell Wilson used to be. But
who would you rather have as your quarterback right now? Tua, who is injury-prone, and Kyle Gaskins is probably yelling at the radio right now, or Russell Wilson? I mean, who would you rather have as your quarterback right now? I'd say Tua because there's a little bit of more upside there, I would think.
Yeah.
Although Russ is a Super Bowl champ.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. It comes down to do you want the more conservative answer, which would be obviously Russell Wilson, I think, because he is known for being healthy. He went something like 7 years without missing a snap, and that included a practice. He did not miss a first-team rep as well as a play on the field. But you're here to win Super Bowls, baby. And if Tua gets everything together, stays healthy, he probably stands a better chance to win a Super Bowl than Russell Wilson. And I'm all about the rings. Second place is just the first loser.
All right. The ref, Philip Pilkington, in today. It's always good to chat with Pilk. He'll have a 94.3 The Game sports update for you. Rene Ingoglia from ESPN, college football analyst, on the show today. And we're going to talk with Mark Miller, a primer of tonight's concert on the Common on the other side of this timeout.
We're back in minutes with more of the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
You should go have that tested.
Make sure to listen or watch now on the new IBX Media app. Get it now in the App Store or Google Play.
Concert on the Common.
Inner Banks Media's got the biggest and best free live shows in ENC.
And it gets even better Thursday, June 8th, when Landslide hits the Town Common in Greenville.
Landslide, a tribute to Fleetwood Mac on the Greenville Toyota Amphitheater stage. Live Live music, food, adult beverages, giveaways, and fun for the whole family.
Still to come.
The Legacy Motown Review. The Embers featuring Craig Woolard and the Leonard Skinner Tribute Band. Tuesday is gone.
Find out more at concertonthecommon.org.
Special thanks to the City of Greenville and the Junior League of Greenville.
Concert on the Common is sponsored by ECU Health, Michelob Ultra, Pitt Greenville Airport, Greenville Toyota, The Air Doctor, Greenville Utilities, The Ritchie Law Firm, Sawyer's Fun Park, Holly Pilen State Farm Insurance, Eastern Plumbing, Town Bank, Specialty FDR, Optimum, Wells Roofing and Gutters,
And Inner Banks Media.
Hi there, my name's Ryan McChrystal, catcher for the ECU Pirates. As the catcher, I see the importance of insurance every day on the field. Just like a catcher's gear protects me from harm, insurance protects you and your family from the unexpected. East Coast Agency has always been there for me, and they'll be there for you too. Just like a catcher is always ready for the next pitch, you should always be prepared for life's curveballs. Contact East Coast Agency today at eca-insure.com or call 910-446-5061 for East Coast Agency. Go Pirates!
When I say local Greenville restaurant, great food, great service, great steaks, great prime rib, and the most awesome cakes you've ever tasted, what comes to your mind? That one was easy, right? It's the Seahorse, of course. I could have also added great daily lunch specials, including the best chicken pastry you've ever tasted. In fact, you know what? This is making me so hungry, I'm headed to the Seahorse right now. See you there? The Seahorse Restaurant on Stantonsburg Road, across from the hospital, the home of Daddy's Steaks and Mama's Cakes.
Hear 94.3 The Game anytime on the IBX Media app.
Is it free?
Yes.
The only app you need.
I love the app.
Download it for free in the App Store or Google Play and get to your favorite radio station in 2 clicks. All your sports, music, talk, and podcasts, including the latest from Steve and Igo at Hoist the Colors and year-round coverage from the East Carolina Sports Network. Listen live anytime, anywhere to ENC Radio's best.
I always listen.
Download the app.
The IBX Media app.
Need $1,000 to $10,000 immediately for a gift for someone special, car repairs, or unexpected expenses? Time Financing Service offers competitive loan rates. Apply online and get your answer in less than an hour in most cases. Then you can pick up the cash at any of our 24 convenient locations. Apply online 24/7 at timefinancing.com. That's timefinancing.com.
Time Financing Service.
All loans subject to current credit policy of Time Financing Service. 1 hour loan approval and same-day cash in most circumstances. Exceptions may apply.
You ready for this?
Oh, I'm very ready. Okay, ready?
You ready?
Streaming to the world at 943thegame.com. This is the Patrick Johnson Show. Now in all his glory, here's the P-Man.
Okay, welcome back. Rene Ingoglia, ESPN college football analyst, coming up in just a little bit. A little bit of going into the summer primer on college football, and we'll talk with him. Looking forward to having Rene on in just a little bit. We have another concert on the Common tonight from the Greenville Toyota Amphitheater, and that's where our Mark Miller, friend from 107.9 WNCT, Mark and Laura in the mornings, our musicologist here on the Patrick Johnson Show, and all around good guy and great Pirate fan. Miller, how are you, by the way? You doing well, buddy?
I'm doing fine, P-Man. How you doing?
I'm well, thank you. Doing the show today and tomorrow from the Working Man's Beach, so I won't be joining you lads and ladies tonight, but I needed to get to the coast. It's been too long without salt air, so I needed to get there.
I feel you. You know, it's going to be weird. I'm going to be at the opposite coast. My niece is graduating high school this weekend in California, and we're actually heading out on Saturday. So we'll cover both coasts, man. Full coverage.
There you go, coast to coast, as it were. Let me ask you this before we talk about the band tonight. You are a lunatic. You went to Charlottesville. That doesn't make you a lunatic. You went to Charlottesville after getting up at an ungodly hour and doing another award-winning morning show on Friday. Went to Charlottesville, took your 2 sons, and went to the game and cheered the Pirates on to a resounding victory Friday night against Oklahoma. And that was great. So you would think a normal person would get a hotel, even in Richmond or something. Not Miller. He drives back in the middle of the night through Virginia to Greenville so you could be on the air again on Saturday.
I had a broadcast I had to get to for Saturday morning, and we had a very full schedule. My family did that whole weekend, And when I saw Charlottesville, like my heart jumped a little because it was close enough, and I was like, all right, we can make this. And then I realized our schedule. I was like, there's no way we can make the whole thing. But if we do something crazy, we will make at least one game. And we did something crazy. We got home probably close to about 3 a.m. because, that game was a long game with all the scoring and all the pounding of Oklahoma ECU was doing. So it was, it went late, and we got home real late, and I got up like 4 hours later and did our live broadcast, and it was terrific. I wouldn't change anything. That was what was amazing about it. And you weren't there, but Philip was on. And I got to the tailgate just in time for one final break on your show.
Yeah.
And the whole tailgate was live, man. It was just ECU everywhere. I told Philip I drove up from Greenville 3 hours, 45 minutes. I got out of the car and I was still in Greenville. That's how it felt. And it was just amazing. It was it's a unique experience, Pirate baseball, and the fans. I'm very privileged to have been adopted. Like, I'm an adopted member of Pirate Nation. I always consider myself that for being an out-of-towner. But I don't think anyone sees me like that. Everybody, hey, we're all pirates in that jungle, right?
So you couldn't have the megaphones, is that right?
No, but everybody brought in cardboard, poster board, excuse me. They brought in poster board and dispensed it freely. And my kids had poster board, they were rolling them up into megaphones. So we couldn't have them, but we had them.
All right, I got you.
It was
I got
amazing.
You. Yeah. All right. Well, everything great, but the result. Hey, I want to ask you about tonight's concert on the Common. It starts at 6. I guess we're a few minutes away from the food trucks starting to serve food. So we got food trucks. We've got a killer band. A tribute band to Fleetwood Mac, Landslide, and they're going to be awesome. And we've also got, if you go by the 107.9 WNCT tent, some very cool concert tickets you can get into a raffle for. All right, so what do we got, Miller? Lay it out for us.
All right, so this is pretty cool, right? So it's a free show tonight. And just by stopping by our tent, you can win tickets to another free show. You can just walk out of here knowing that you're going to have 2 free shows out of this deal. But 100%, the show that starts at 6 tonight is free and is spectacular. Landslide is the name of the band, a tribute to Fleetwood Mac. The music of Fleetwood Mac, you're not going to want to miss it. They're going to play every song that you would want to hear from the band, and they do a really good job. I have never seen them live, but I've done enough producing of some stuff here, kind of getting close to this show, that I've heard them a number of times, and I'm really excited for this because it's another band whose music is just straight up timeless. And to be able to kind of all have this same vibe here in this space in the town common and enjoy the music and sit down and finish off a rough day and look towards the weekend. We're almost there, right? It's just going to be wonderful. We got all our sponsors here. All the tents are up. They've got little goodies for you as well. The food trucks, people are in line right now. I think I see some people with some stuff here. It looks like people have bought some stuff from the food trucks, so they're selling as we speak. The drinks are flowing like wine. You know how it is, man. It's always a good time here at the Concert on the Common, the town common in Greenville.
All right, so not only does the band Landslide do Fleetwood Mac, as their tribute, they have their catalog, but they also do some Stevie Nicks solo, from what I understand. So
you have to,
plenty
right?
of that tonight, right?
Yeah. You're not gonna get off the stage without some Stevie solo stuff, and that's gonna be wonderful as well. We're really excited to hear them.
And the weather's really good. It's a decent weather day.
Man, I'm breathing freely. I tell you what, I haven't coughed once today. The skies are blue, and it was a little cloudy this morning, but it's nice. We had a nice little breeze going on here too. It's not too hot by any stretch of the imagination. It's very comfortable out here, and you can see from the turnout already that people are excited for it, and people are, the weather might be a bit of a draw too. It's really the perfect night for music. But what night isn't the perfect night for music when it's free?
And I want to say this: plenty of parking. That's another misnomer about the Greenville Toyota Amphitheater. There's actually plenty of parking. The ECU lots are usable since it is summertime, so plenty of surface parking that you can
it doesn't take
avail
too long
yourself
to walk
of.
From anywhere you're parking. You're good to go today for sure.
All right, so it's landslide starting at 6 o'clock. Bring a lawn chair, bring some cash to lay down some dough for some drinks. Beers being sold by the Junior League of Greenville. You can lay down some money for some delicious eats. Several food trucks are out there. Big crowds expected. Head over to the 107.9 WNCT tent. Mark Miller will be there. Give him a little arg for his commitment to Pirate baseball. And enter to win tickets. What is it, Aerosmith and Tears for Fears? Is that what we got
that's
given
so
away?
the Aerosmith 50th anniversary, the farewell tour. That's at PNC Arena on September 24th. And Tears for Fears is coming to Coastal Credit Union Music Park, Walnut Creek. That's July 8th, a Saturday. That's coming up.
Oh, okay. All right. Pretty good. Love Tears for Fears. Okay.
Yeah,
awesome stuff. And if you love Fleetwood Mac, this band is spot on tonight. Hey, Miller, thanks a lot. Enjoyed it. I thought I was sad you didn't get the Sixers coaching gig, but that's okay.
I put in for it. I have some ideas.
I know.
They never listen to me.
Here's what you think he's joking. He probably did put in for it because he's a maniac.
Oh, man, I want to get as far away from that team right now as possible. I'm just so sick of them. That's another reason I love just like watching baseball, ECU baseball. It's just simply awesome product, and I'm just tired of the other ones, of my other ones, please.
Oh, yeah, I got you. Hey, Miller, thanks for the time as always, buddy. We appreciate the primer, and have fun tonight.
You bet. Hope to see everybody out here at the Town Common. Get down here now.
Yep, absolutely. The food trucks are open. The beverages are flowing, and it is a free concert to see Fleetwood Mac tribute band Landslide at 6 o'clock, the Greenville Town Common and the Greenville Toyota Amphitheater. All right, let's go now to Philip the Ref Pilkington. He has our Pirate Report and a 94.3 The Game sports update.
Thanks, Patrick. Philip Pilkington here with your 94.3 The Game Sports Flash update. We will start in Pirate Athletics as East Carolina baseball alum Alec Burleson hit a first-pitch home run to right field in the 8th inning last night to lift the Cardinals past the Rangers by a score of 1-0 to snap a 5-game losing skid for the Redbirds. Speaking of Pirate baseball, head coach Cliff Godwin joined the Patrick Johnson Show yesterday and said that his team is closing in on their goal of getting to Omaha.
Extremely proud of this group, even though it's not the end goal where we want to be, but it's just another step, in my opinion, of continue to build on the foundation that we built here, and the guys do it the right way.
You can hear the entirety of that interview on the IBX Media app. Another ECU alum is making noise in professional sports as tennis player Joran Valinga, who was the CUSA Player of the Year for the Pirates in 2014, will be playing in the French Open men's doubles final alongside his partner, Sander Galli. Both of those are from Belgium. And yesterday, the North Carolina House gave its final approval to a bill that would allow online sports betting and some in-person gambling at designated arenas across the state. It includes both college and professional sports as well as horse racing. The bill needs this signature from Governor Roy Cooper before it can become a law.
The casinos, though, are a separate issue, and it's one that is being batted about in the General Assembly right now, particularly in response to what's happening in Virginia. I haven't seen what they are talking about. I think my support for that would depend upon what it is, who's running it, how it's going to work, what percentage does the state get, all of that.
To the NFL, the Carolina Panthers cornerback J.C. Horn will miss the rest of OTAs and mandatory minicamp camp as he injured his left foot and ankle over the weekend working out on his own. It is reported that he will not need surgery and is expected to return in time for training camp in late July. In other NFL news, Minnesota Vikings have released Pro Bowl running back Dalvin Cook. Cook signed a 5-year extension prior to the 2020 NFL season and was going to be a $14.1 million cap hit this season. but due to a post-June 1st release by the team, they will save $9 million in cap room. Last night, Game 1 of the Women's College World Series final, Oklahoma knocked off Florida State 5-0 to claim their 52nd straight victory. Tonight, the Sooners will look to close out the series and claim their 7th national title, and it would be their 3rd in a row, something that has not been accomplished since UCLA did it in 1988 through 1990. Staying in college sports, NC State will have to wait one more year for guard Tremon Parker, who originally was part of the 2023 men's basketball recruiting class. He has reclassified and still plans to join the program in 2024. Staying in the ACC, another crowded backcourt in the University of North Carolina. One of the Tar Heel recruits for the 2023 class has released his commitment from the program. Simon Wilshire, most recently rated the number 34 in the class of 2023 by 247 Sports, committed to Coach Hubert Davis and the Tar Heels back in October of 2020, and chose to stay in school despite a reported six-figure offer from Overtime Elite. But with the return of senior R.J. Davis and recent announcement from number 11th ranked recruit Elliot Shimbu that has reclassified to the 2023 UNC class, Wilshire is reopening his recruitment. That'll do it for your 94.3 The Game Sports Flash update. On the other side of this timeout, we will be joined by Rene Ingoglia to talk a little college football.
The #1 Drive Time Sports Show. The Patrick Johnson Show returns in minutes. 94.3 The Game.
Greeting friends of Eastern North Carolina. If you're looking for a great place to work with competitive pay and a multitude of advanced opportunities, Pitt County Schools is hiring. We employ over 3,500 people, and we're one of the largest employers in Pitt County. We are currently seeking teachers, bus drivers, school nutrition personnel, facilities staff, custodians, clerical staff, and more. We offer advanced leadership opportunities to our educators and competitive pay for our skilled labor force. If you want to be part of a thriving school system that focuses on educating students, growing our employees, and promoting positive mental and physical health habits, we encourage you to become a part of our Pitt County Schools family to help ensure success for the future of Eastern North Carolina. To fill out an application, visit our website today at pittschools.org. That's pittschools.org. And remember, education is truly a team effort. Pitt County Schools. Live and lead.
Have you had a colonoscopy? If you're between the ages of 45 and 75, you need to be screened regularly for colorectal cancer. Dr. Philip Goldstein at Carolina Digestive Diseases and Endoscopy Center wants to keep you healthy. Dr. Goldstein provides treatment and quality care for all GI needs. Just call the office at 252-758-8181. Appointments are always available within 5 business days.
Hi, this is Dr. Philip Goldstein reminding you that a colonoscopy can save your life. Visit our website, cddgastro.com, and come see us at Carolina Digestive Diseases.
My wife was the first to notice I was losing my hair. I thought, I am way too young for this.
At QC Kinetics Hair Restoration, we see men and women of all ages struggling with hair loss. And for Nick, it began when he was just 32 years old.
I didn't really think about it too much until last spring when I got sunburn on my scalp and, I don't know, it wasn't really that hot out.
QC Kinetics uses regenerative treatments, all natural biologics to reignite hair growth without surgery. And the results are amazing.
I felt like I was hopeful, right? But then after the first few treatments, I already started to notice a difference. It just felt real, so I was just more excited to continue the process.
Real results without invasive surgery. And as for Nick's wife,
she loves it. I got my hair back in my early 30s. I want to look my age, and now I do.
Schedule your free hair restoration consultation today with QC Kinetics. Call QC Kinetics, 252-765-PAIN. That's 252-765-7246. 252-765-PAIN.
Are you missing a tooth? Doctors Bowman, Paget, and Associates can help you with state-of-the-art surgical procedures such as dental implants. Bowman, Paget, and Associates agree that dressing up like a pirate for game day is one thing, but smiling like one may not be the way you want to go. Smile like a movie star instead. Schedule your appointment at bowmanpaget.com. That's bowmanpaget.com.
Have you noticed he's in his own little happy hour? We're back to the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
This is the Happy Hour program.
Here's the P-Man.
Never too early to be talking to Rene Ingoglia. Never a bad time to talk to Rene Ingoglia. P-Man back with you from the Working Man's Beach today and tomorrow for the PJ Show as we welcome in our friend, college football analyst Rene Ingoglia for ESPN. How are you, my friend?
Good, PJ. How you doing, my buddy? How you been?
I'm good, man. I'm good. You're just every time I look at you, you're doing something new. So you're my hero, as you always have been, Rene. You're my hero.
I gotta stay busy, and I have two daughters in college, so that's 2 college tuitions.
Right.
So
right.
I gotta work, man. Gotta work.
Congratulations again for the Rochester Rocket making it on the College Football Hall of Fame ballot. Is this the year?
It'll be interesting. I don't know. I think this is year 8. I stopped counting really, and if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. So I actually got a lot of play out of the nomination this year. It's kind of funny. It's like Groundhog Day, right? Because I never remember when the nominations come out, and it's obviously June, but I don't ever remember. So whenever it comes out, usually there's a tweet from ESPN or UMass, and so got a lot of play this year out of it. So I don't know, maybe this is the year, but I know it's cliche and I say it all the time, but I really do mean it. It's just an honor being nominated. But maybe this is the year. We'll see.
Typically when you have a lot of play, when these bands that finally get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, or maybe somebody who wins an Academy Award or something, Rene, it all starts with you start to get a lot of play. It's the groundswell. You realize that, don't you? It's the groundswell at this point.
Yeah. So, we'll see. And, the something different happened this year for me as well. So, normally this is going to be my 14th year with ESPN, which is, I'm the epitome of flying under the radar, which is a great thing, by the way.
Right.
And I usually sign 1-year deals, right? They're 1-year deals, and each year I renew, knock on wood, that they want me back. I signed a 2-year deal this year. So, maybe that will get me into the Hall of Fame, because it's not like I can use the Hall of Fame for any type of leverage to get a new contract. So I'm under contract for the next 2 years. So who knows?
It'd be great if they could announce you as College Football Hall of Famer, Rene Ingoglia. That would be great. So
it really would be. And all kidding aside, it would be like the greatest honor of my sports career, of my football career by far. So we'll see if it's meant to be.
I thought you and I on ESPN Radio Orlando was your greatest sport. That might be for your sports casting career, but that's a whole other story for another time.
And there is no longer an ESPN Orlando, so that should tell the listeners all they need to know.
That's how dynamic Rene and I were. They said, no, we can't top this. We can't top this. Let's shut it down. So there you go. That's that. All right, enough of this tomfoolery. My Pirates open the season in the Big House. It's a daunting task, Rene. It's a daunting task.
But that's the time to take on one of those teams. It really is, because, you always hear the biggest improvements teams make are obviously from week 1 to week 2. So when you play a juggernaut, when you play a big-time program like a Michigan, man, the way I look at it is you want to get them early, right? So you got to get into camp. You got to be disciplined. And Mike Houston's teams are. I like what he's doing there. I'm bullish on Mike Houston and ECU. Obviously, when you have to replace a quarterback like a Holt Nailers, everything he did and the experience, that's tough, right? But I like where that program's going. I know the ECU fans are happy. And so, you're going to take on a Michigan. Get them in week 1, right? And maybe you can upset them, right? Obviously, they're going to be favored in that game. You're going into the Big House. It's one of the most prestigious stadiums in all of college football. I was fortunate enough to call a game there before. It's great. But you want them early and see what happens.
Rene Ingoglia is with us here. The Harbaugh flirtation, I guess, with the NFL. I mean, obviously he's back and they're stacked. They can run the ball really good defensively on the back end. They've got a quarterback that's got some experience. So, I mean, there's a lot of positives, obviously, coming off that huge year they had when they lost in the college football playoff. So just how good is Michigan in your mind if we're talking, way too early projections into next year?
Yeah, I mean they're up there. There's no doubt about it. And you touched on it, how much they have coming back, and they're one of the top teams to start this season that actually is bringing back their quarterback in J.J. McCarthy. I mean, Ohio State's replacing a quarterback, Alabama's replacing a quarterback. I mean, there's a bunch of schools out there. Georgia's got to replace their quarterback. So those are just question marks. Well, you bring back J.J. McCarthy and you surround him with what you just talked about, a running game, a great offensive line, a defense. So they're in a really good position, no doubt about it. And, you know, Jim Harbaugh, he's an excellent coach. He just beats to a different drum, right? He's just a little different. And I'm here to tell you, a lot of coaches are a little different. So that doesn't really surprise me. But Michigan's in a good position. They got a lot back, so they're definitely one of the favorites going into this season.
Rene Ingoglia, ESPN college football analyst, is with us there. Who let the dogs out? Rene let the dogs out. I'll tell you that.
Well, I have, you know, people think I'm crazy. We have 7 dogs on our, we call it the Gridiron Ranch here because I bought this home because of football. So with the dogs just go crazy. And that's my 130-pound Bouvier de Flanders. And my wife knows I'm on the radio in here, but she doesn't care. She's not getting them, so he's barking away. It's all good.
7 dogs? I love dogs, but 7 seems like a lot, Rene.
Well, I have 5 acres. We rescue a lot, and my mother-in-law lives with us. She has got an in-law apartment in the back. One of them is hers. My daughter that goes to Lynn University in South Florida rescued 2 dogs. So inevitably what happens is, you know, she thinks she's going to keep the dogs in college. They come home for the summer, and they stay here. So that's kind of it. But I have the property to do it, so it's all good. We're not crazy dog people. We just happen to rescue a few. So, and we can keep them, and we have the property, so it's good.
So we've spent the last 2 weeks watching my brother's dog, a toy poodle, who's just a great dog. Cooper's his name. And he's an awesome dog. We lost our dog that we got when we lived in Florida, from Florida Little Dog Rescue, about a year ago, a little over a year ago. So this is the first. I wouldn't say this is a test run because if it is, it's determined our lives are a little too busy now to have a dog again. But Cooper's been awesome. He's a great dog. He's very. In fact, he's chilling beside, probably about 2 yards from me right now here at the work.
It's a small world because I have a Cooper sitting about 2 yards from me as well. That's a mini golden doodle laying right here. So Cooper's a very popular dog name.
Yes, it is. The great Rene Ingoglia, ESPN college football analyst. Another year for Rene on the College Football Hall of Fame ballot. Let's hope Rene gets in there. Okay, so the Big Ten announcing their schedule today for when USC and UCLA come in. You know, I've did a lot of baseball this year, talked to Indiana's baseball coach. They're out of the Big Ten. They made the tournament in college baseball. He actually said this is a good thing for our conference, getting the brand names of USC and UCLA into the league. Football, probably not. The only people I guess who would have a major problem with it would be basketball. But I mean, this is a positive as you see it, or is this not what the spirit of regionalism in college football is all about?
Listen, in the world we live in, PJ, and I know you know this, we just saw it with the PGA Tour and Live Golf. Money talks, right? And I mean, you know, these are big TV contracts. You're bringing in 2 big blue bloods into your conference, and that money trickles down to the baseball programs, the programs that aren't revenue generating, right? And so football's driving the bus. So when you bring these big schools in and you bolster up your conferences like the Big Ten is doing and the SEC is doing, it's a windfall for all the sports programs and the universities in whole. So it's not going to stop, right? I mean, Yormark from the Big 12, we know he's looking, right? Moving around. The Pac-12 still doesn't have a TV deal. And now for your listeners, because it directly affects ECU, you know, Mike Oresco, I know him pretty well. He's a TV-savvy guy because he was a TV guy before he became a commissioner. You know, he's bringing in new schools into the American, but you got to make sure you don't lose schools, too. I mean, they lost the 3 that are going to the Big 12. So it's a crazy time in college sports right now, particularly college football. And so we all just need to buckle up and hold on because there's definitely going to be more changes.
Well, you know, it's interesting to get people's take on the portal. I don't think the portal's as huge a deal in football And if I'm wrong, correct me. I don't think it as it is in basketball. Let's say now. It's not to say there's not a lot of kids in the portal. There are way too many kids in the portal in all sports. What I'm saying is you could have impact guys in basketball hit the portal and go somewhere else and turn a team around. Certain positions, certain players can do that in football, obviously.
Well, listen, and we saw it this year with a school that's going to be in the American next year, FAU. Multiple transfers on that team, and look at the run they had in college basketball. So, yes, basketball, man, the portal, you get 2 or 3 guys, it changes your whole team, right? Your whole team dynamic. Football, you're right, not as much. Obviously, you get a quarterback or you get a high-profile player, it's going to help you tremendously. But you can't really go from 0 to 60 like you can in college basketball. I agree with you there, PJ, 100%.
But you can fill holes with experienced guys, and you can also, I think, with NIL, stack a lot of young talent if you're one of the higher level or well-funded NILs. To me, the NIL has a bigger imprint on college football than the portal does. Portal's bigger deal in basketball, in my opinion. So where are you on the NIL? We maybe have discussed it before, but, I mean, it's essentially free agency at this point.
It is. I mean, I like NIL, okay? How they envision it and why it was put into place is a good thing. They never envisioned, so you mentioned the portal. The portal now goes hand in hand with NIL because even though it's quote unquote against the rules and you're not supposed to do it, it's the wild, wild west. Players are leaving, right? They're going from team to team, school to school, transferring because of NIL money. And it's just that's the reality, right? And so that's really what they need to get a hold on. Listen, I've said it, and no one, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. The old rule was, right, when you transferred, you had to sit out a year, okay? You basically lost a year of eligibility. People didn't want to transfer. And so the gripe used to be it's not fair because the coaches up and leave and go to school for all this big money, and they leave the kids behind. Totally agree with that, right? So now we have transferring where you don't have to sit out. But now what we're seeing is what I just said. Your players are transferring for money, for NIL money, okay? My thing is let's go back to if you transfer, you have to sit out a year. That is going to slow down. I mean, because the kids are still going to get their NIL money. They're just going to have to do it at their school. They're not going to be able to jump ship for NIL money unless they want to sit out a year, which obviously you're not going to do that because the NIL money's not going to be there. So if you go back to the rule where you have to sit out a year to transfer, it's going to quiet players down from transferring for NIL. And the one caveat is, I would say, is if your coach leaves, if he goes and jumps ship and he gets more money and he goes to another job, then there's a 3, 4 month, 6 month window, whatever you want to do, where you then can transfer with no penalty and
without
play
penalty.
Right
Yeah,
without
you're
penalty.
right.
And I just think that would help stuff out a lot. I don't know. I haven't really heard anyone else say that, so maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. I just think that would help the transferring because of NIL. So NIL in and of itself, I think is good. I just don't think they envisioned all this movement that was going to happen because of it.
I want to ask you one thing here, and we got about a minute. Coach Prime, is that whole thing good or bad for college football, the way he handled the roster overflow, the roster flip?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of go both ways on it. I mean, to lose that many players off a roster, right, unprecedented. I did a Colorado game last year. They weren't very good. They had some real talented skill players on that team, and I thought they would stay. They ultimately all left as well. I mean, he essentially turned over the entire team, has a brand-new program. Listen, when you're the head man like that and they give you a ton of money and you're going in there to rebuild a program, hey, you're going to do it your way. He's going to do it his way. And one thing, though, he's got people excited in Boulder. He's got the Big 12 excited. I should say the Pac-12.
Yeah.
They would love the Big 12.
And the Big 12.
Would love to have him.
Yes,
he
does have the Big 12. The Big 12's very excited.
Well, I think they do have the
this.
Big 12 excited because everyone thinks they're ultimately going to jump ship and go there. So we'll see. But he's got excitement there in Boulder for sure. They're going to have sellouts. We'll see if they can win or not, right? Turning over a roster like that is challenging.
Hey, Rene, always great to talk to you. Thanks for the time here this afternoon, and we'll catch up with you before the season. Have a great summer.
Sounds good, PJ. You too, my friend. Thank you.
All right, there he goes. Rene Ingoglia, college football analyst, ESPN. We'll be back to wrap up the show next.
All things ECU at 943thegame.com.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
More of the P-Man coming up in minutes.
Here with Jeff Stein at Brown & Wood. Jeff, what can you do for people looking for a new vehicle in 2023?
We can show the people the number one selling car in the region, the Buick Encore, the Encore GX, the Envision, and the Buick Enclave. We've also got Cadillac dominating the market with the XT4, XT5, and XT6, and we continue to get new GMC Sierra trucks in daily. Please come see us at 329 Southwest Greenville Boulevard. Brown & Wood, 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
Prices are rising in almost every sector of our economy, so it's important to save any way you can. I'm Rachel Davis with Advanced Mechanical, and I'm here with money-saving tips. Take advantage of technology to keep your HVAC unit running at peak efficiency. Not only can a programmable thermostat reduce energy costs for your home, but it can actually extend the life of your system. By optimizing temperatures throughout the day and week, your system experiences less stress and wear throughout the year. For more information on these and other money-saving tips, or to schedule service, go to advancedmechnc.com or call us at 252-355-9191. We serve Greenville and surrounding areas in HVAC installation, service, and repair. Being customer committed for over 30 years means you can depend on Advanced Mechanical for your heating, air conditioning, and air quality needs. Contact us at advancedmechnc.com or 252-355-9191.
At U.S. Cellular, you can get a new phone for $830 off, no trade-in needed, which means you don't have to trade in your old phone for a new one. That must sound really good to you, guy with a junk drawer.
I'm just going to sell it to my sister.
That's a twist.
Who am I kidding? It's going right in the junk drawer.
Get $830 off any phone, no trade-in needed. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
Spring is here and summer is right on our doorstep. We're all looking forward to outside and enjoying the warm weather and long days. Let the team at Cellular Warehouse help you start enjoying these days by eliminating the 2 to 3 hour wait in the local store. They come right to your home or office and handle all of your cellular needs. Best of all, their front door service is free of charge. Call Toby Williams today at 252-799-7051 and let his team start making life easy again. That's 252-799-7051. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
And now, the stunning conclusion of the show. It's the P-Man here on 94.3 The Game.
All right, big thanks to Rene Ingoglia for being with us here today. Thanks to Philip the Ref Pilkington. And thanks to Clark Willis. We'll be back tomorrow. Patrick Johnson's show tomorrow morning on Talk of the Town. Our Crime Stoppers Radiothon from Great Harvest in Greenville on 103.7 WTIB and the New Talk 96.3. That'll be from 7 to 9. And then coming up tomorrow afternoon, 5 o'clock. Patrick Johnson Show. We're going to tell you about the brand new semi-pro soccer team in Greenville and a little Father's Day early treat. My dad is scheduled to be with us. The coach, Kelly Johnson. Should be a lot of fun. All right, we'll greet you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your evening, and so long from the Working Man's Beach.
Hear 94.3 The Game anytime on the IBX Media app. Download it for free in the App Store or Google Play and get to your favorite radio station in 2 clicks. All your sports, music, talk, and podcasts. Listen live anytime, anywhere to ENC Radio's best on the IBX Media app.